Jesus gave me a song. He said blood must be shed for your wrong. But I gave my own, go tell everyone. Sing the gospel and live your song. Well, I sing it in the morning when I get up. I sing it in the bathroom where I wash up. Well, I sing it in the car on the way to school. I sing it in the afternoons too. I sing it at home to the window. I sing it to the dog on the floor. And I sing it everywhere that I possibly can. Sometimes I sing it even more. 'Cause Jesus gave me a song. He said blood must be shed for your wrong. But I gave my own, go tell everyone. Sing the gospel and live your song. Well, I sing it at home to the family. I sing it at the church where I go. And I sing it everywhere at McDonald's and the Burger King, 'cause I really feel they ought to know. Well, you better believe I get some strange looks. People just don't understand. Well, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. It's the power of God to save man. Oh, Jesus gave me a song. He said blood must be shed for your wrong. But I gave my own, go tell everyone. Sing the gospel and live your song. Amen. Kind of messed that one up a little bit, but that's okay. Hey, I'm glad you're here with me. I'm running a little late. This is like one of the last days of school for some people. My grandson Ridge won just about every single possible award you could win. Highest average, principal list, best reader, just all this crazy stuff. This is his last year of elementary school. He'll be moving up to middle school, so it's kind of like a big deal, big graduation thing. And so I was so proud of him. Yeah, I found myself, I was always on the president's list too, but, the principal's list, but it was usually Paul Cook, please report to the office. So it was a whole different kind of principal's list, I'm afraid. I wanted to sing that song to you. It was written by someone that I admired as I was growing up, Ramsey Hall. And the idea is that Jesus gives us a song. He puts a song in our heart, and this song is with us all the time. And as we are now transitioning into these summer months, oftentimes in the church, sometimes they'll refer to it as a summer slump. So we try to inject things like vacation Bible schools or different programs or different outings or mission trips. We try to add activities to try to keep people somehow connected. But the idea is that, summer really changes our pace, our calendars shift, the routines that we normally have during the normal year, going to work, spending time, some of you going to school, going to our jobs. There's this routine that life that we follow. But sometimes in the summer, there's more spontaneity. Things become more spontaneous. We don't adhere to schedules as much. For many people, summer feels lighter, relaxed. But spiritually, it can be a season where we might drift and not even realize it. I served at a church once where there was a family in the church, and they were vocal about it. I mean, they were on passion, they were fired up and everything. But every time when it came to the summer, they said, "Hey, summer's coming, so we're just going to take a couple months off." And I was like, "Well, what does that mean?" "Oh, we're not going to come to church for for the summer. We're going to be traveling. We're going to be doing some other stuff." And it's like, so you're taking a break from God, or are you just taking a break from church? I mean, what about serving God, loving God, honoring God? How are we going to hold that up if we don't adhere to the community or the body that God's called us to? And so sometimes we might have a tendency to drift, and we don't even think about it. "Oh, I didn't think about it. Look, we'll be celebrating. God's out in nature. God's everywhere, and we're going to celebrate Him wherever we are." And that's well and fine. And I hope that's something that you do. But Oftentimes, the local church will tend to suffer numbers and giving during the summer months. In Luke chapter 9, verse 23, Jesus says this: if anyone would come after me, and listen to this, he says, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. And notice the word daily. Following Jesus never meant to depend on, I'm just going to follow him for this season, or I'm going to follow him for this schedule, or for this environment. It's this continual following Jesus, walking in his way. And one of the challenges of the summer is sometimes our structure disappears, and what truly shapes us becomes more visible. And during the busy seasons, routines carry our spiritual lives. You know, it's easy once we know that Labor Day is over, and now we're back getting ready for the fall, the end of summer, going into fall. Work begins. We begin our regular routines. We start our Bible studies again. We start all of these things, and it kind of holds us together. But slower seasons, like the summer, for example, it can show us where our hunger for God and where our need for God really is. Summer exposes questions like, what do I do in my free time? If I have a little bit of free time, what fills my mind when life slows down? When I'm turning to for rest or comfort or joy, what am I actually turning to? I know sometimes in the summer we plan expensive or restful vacations, you know, and we plan these outings, and sometimes we're in such a hurry to get there, and then we get there and we unpack and like, okay, for this week we're just going to relax, and the whole week, you know, we're okay, what are we going to do next? Where are we eating? What are we doing? And then by the time we pack up and head back home, it's like we haven't rested or had a Sabbath at all. And where was our worship in the middle of all of that? I think the invitation from Jesus is, don't necessarily get caught up in doing more spiritual things. Don't add more stuff to your schedule, but learn to recognize his presence in the ordinary moments. When you're sitting on the beach, recognize that Jesus was the creator of all of that. When you're driving to vacation and people are cutting you off, it gives you an opportunity to practice, the spiritual fruit, kindness and gentleness and compassion and love, and faith. So what are we truly walking with Jesus? Are we just fitting him into our schedule? And I think the summer, as we transition into that, it gives us an opportunity just to pause for a minute, catch our breath, and say, God, I want to follow you. And following Jesus in the summer may look a lot less like just adding more activity, but more creating more awareness, more aware of his voice, of his leading, of his presence in difficult moments, even the people maybe that he places in front of us. It also creates opportunity for mission. Sometimes in the summer, there are more cookouts. I love the fact when my son and daughter-in-law moved back from San Diego, they live in a neighborhood like in this cul-de-sac, and it's just like this cul-de-sac throws parties all the time, and they'll be out there. They basically take over the whole street. There'll be music. People are cooking out, and there's opportunities for families to interact with one another. That's how community is built. People tend to stop and slow down for conversations. It gives neighbors an opportunity to get to know one another. Families gather. Travel opens doors to more opportunities to interact with people. And sometimes the most meaningful spiritual moments happen in unplanned conversations that God just quietly arranges. So during the summer, what if this summer, I pray that you would look for those God-ordained moments. Before we get frustrated because the schedule didn't work out, or the tickets that we wanted were sold out, or it just costs so much to travel and gas is so high, and just all this negativity just kind of hits us. What is God saying to us in there? Maybe he's saying, stop for a minute, take a deep breath, focus on me, because if you seek first his kingdom, all of the rest of the stuff will line up. It'll line up the way that he has ordained it to line up. He says in John 15, he says, I am the I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he is that bears much fruit. He says, for apart from me, you can do nothing. So fruit doesn't come from more of our striving. It comes from us staying connected. So my question to you is, how are you going to stay connected to God this summer? What is the song that Jesus placed in your heart this summer? And how are you going to live that out? As always, I would love to hear from you, and I look forward to praying for you. If you don't have a church home, we would love for you to come visit us here at 3 Point Bible Church. We gather together for praise, worship, and God's Word and prayers on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. We have small groups that meet at 10, and we are just doing Bible study. Sunday evening, we have a Bible study. Wednesday night, tonight, if you're not doing anything, we invite you to come. We're having taco night. Come experience some food, fun, and fellowship. And then right after that, we break up into Bible study, and we are in the book of Revelation. And we're finishing up studying in the first couple chapters where Jesus is giving to John information about the churches. And so we're going to be finishing up the churches in Revelation tonight. So we invite you to come and be a part of that. Everything begins at 6, no charge. We would just love to see you. Anyway, let me know how I can pray for you. And as always, I will be back at the regular time next week. Fingers crossed. And I look forward to spending time with you. And I remember, Jesus gives us all a song. So go sing it everywhere that you go. Love you guys, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.